Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Twisted Word Show Season 4. How is everybody?
Hi everyone, it's good to be back after a very busy week. Yes, please let us know how you're doing and how your writing's going.
Absolutely. I hope that you are doing great. And so, the topic of today's video is going to be time management. And both Mariana and I, we both faced the issue of time management throughout the week because Mariana was busy with her tasks and work, and I was busy with university and all that. And our writing suffered during that time. So we thought that, of course, everybody faces this issue. So we decided to make a video on that. And Mariana, help us get started.
Sure. So, yes, as Yash mentioned, my week was rather busy and I had quite a few goals that I wanted to achieve this week, and I'm sad to say I haven't done any of it. So that brings us to the first point is setting goals. But I think to keep it realistic. Um, I think mine wasn't that realistic this week. I wanted to do three short stories. I am halfway with the first one, so I think aiming for three was a bit much, knowing that the week was going to be busy. So I think that's just something you must keep in mind when you set your goals. Don't be unrealistic because you will be disappointed if you don't reach them. Um,
Exactly.
and also you'll feel good if you do achieve them. And yeah, in my case, well, I didn't, so I know the disappointment when
But
you
still,
don't, but yes.
exactly. And so don't set too big goals, knowing that you are going to be busy throughout the week and left exhausted, because that simply takes the joy out of the writing and makes it a
Yes.
stressful task than being something
Yes.
that you are going to do with a smile on your face. Uh,
Yeah,
Make
exactly.
sure, yeah, exactly. So make sure to focus on progress instead of focusing on getting tasks done, because you can
Yeah.
set a goal of completing 10,000 words, but of course now that is a huge goal and that takes commitment, and in a busy week, of course, it's going to be challenging. But if you set a smaller goal, 1,000
Yeah.
words, and that is pretty doable, and that will give you that sense of progress that we are looking for. And we've discussed this in our previous
Yes.
videos as well, which we encourage you to watch. And which brings us to our next point, which is to allocate specific time for different things in the writing process so that when you get to the writing task, you know what you're about to do. You have made some progress with
Yeah.
your project in the writing part only, like you have typed your first draft. Maybe now you want to do some editing in it, maybe some polishing it out before getting to the next project, or whatever your goals are. Know beforehand what you're going to do, because it just so happens sometimes with me, uh, I sit down and then I have multiple projects in mind, and the entire time that I have selected, or that I have from the entire week, I end up spending all of that time simply deciding and contemplating about what I have to do. So try to know and try to decide, try to determine what exactly is it that you're going to do in that specific time frame. And so that, because when you know what you're going to do, then you're going to be able to do it. Simply, you're going to tend to the task and you're going to be able to do it. But if you don't even know where you're going, then that's a problem. Which now, Mariana, take us further.
Yes, I think just on that, um, if you group your tasks, if you don't make put it this way, if it's not too big a chunk of work you try to get done, um, it will be easier if it's smaller chunks. Break it up into smaller tasks. and you'll feel like you've made progress, and it will, lift your mood, and you will feel like you want to do more, and you get further than having this enormous task to finish, and you're not going to do it because it's too much and too overwhelming.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
so I think my next point would be to, if you have a set time that you want to write, say every evening between 7 and 8, you want to write. Make sure you tell the people in your household that do not disturb me. This is my writing time. Because especially if you have kids, or well, anybody in your house might not realize that every time they come into your area where you're writing, they're actually distracting you, and you have to get back into focus again, and
Exactly.
start all over again, basically. So it's good to just let them know. I think it's also a nice thing for them to know when not to disturb you,
Absolutely.
rather than you getting upset and distracted and not getting anywhere because they keep coming in, or whatever the case may be.
And
What would
also,
be your next point? Hmm?
I just wanted to add a little bit to the previous point. Also, don't think that you are being rude to them, because that is
Yeah.
just something that you have to do. And also, they'll slowly learn to understand and know that when somebody is working, it is not good habit to disturb them or violate their
Yes.
space. Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
And that brings us to the next point, which can be helpful for people who like to pants their stories. In other words, who don't like to plot or don't plot their stories. They can try out this new thing of trying to sort the story out beforehand. Because when you are sitting down to write, while you don't have a lot of time to think about the story, during that time, it is helpful if you already know what you're going to write, because and that can be achieved by plotting. If you've already created a map of the story in your mind, you will be able to have those thoughts typed faster than generating those thoughts in the first place in the limited amount of time that you have. So that can be very helpful with plotting, that is. Mariana, next point.
Yes, also just on that, I think even if you don't plot out the entire story in detail, at least if you know where you want to end up, you can work
Yes, that could
towards
also
that.
work. Absolutely. So you
If you have
can,
an ending in mind, it will help.
yes,
Um, and then the next point is to have short writing sprints. So maybe aim for a 15 or 20 minutes writing session, take a short break, and then come back and write another 15 or 20 minutes. Um, it might just help you to feel more energized and ready to take on the next section.
yes. And also it,
What do you think, Josh?
and also just like previously discussed, it will retain that sense of progress. It will keep you motivated
Mm.
and keep you going with the writing, instead of making you feel stuck and all that.
Yes,
So whatever little time you have, make
yes,
sure to utilize that instead of whining. No, whining is a doesn't not the word that we'll use. Instead of worrying about the fact that you didn't have a lot of time to write. So get to that, for use that little amount of time, because these little things, in my opinion,
yes.
add up after a certain period of time. I have actually noticed that with myself, in my case, as well. Had I written only 500 words every day for Do Not Kill a Spider since June, by now I would have had a long manuscript first draft written, and that would be,
Yeah.
but guess who decided to set unrealistic goals? Guess who was disappointed on not achieving those? And so uh, there it goes. You learn the lesson the hard way or the easy way. And we are here to share that advice, and we hope that
Yeah.
you liked it and will and hopefully this will prove as helpful if you decide to use these tips and implement them.
Yes, absolutely.
With that, we end another episode of the Twisted Word Show. We hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye, everybody.